Joining us now all the way from Baltimore are Mike and Pablo. They are the owners of FireFly Farms, and they're going to give us a master cheese class. But first, guys, you guys just opened up during COVID-19, during isolation. Whose idea was this?
Well, it's been in the works for about a year and a half, Thomas. And so I have to be honest, when Armageddon happened in March, we looked at our lease and considered termination, but who knew that you had to have very specific language in a force majeure clause about global pandemic, right? So we thought, well, let's just go for it. Fortune favors the bold, and we're in a spot with multiple vendors, and we all just rushed headlong in, and it's gone really well.
Well, let's talk about the spot. It's in Whitehall Market in Clipper Mill in Baltimore. Is this a new area?
It's actually got a lot of history. The building has been here for quite a while. It was built in 1798, and it's a project of David Trufaro, and it's a renovated cotton mill, and it's beautiful. It's all brick, and the Jones Falls is right behind us, and it's a pretty little spot, and a lot of folks are investing, and there's a lot of energy. Spike Yurda's restaurant is just up the street a bit, Artifact Coffee. So yeah, it's fun.
It looks pretty amazing. So Pablo, how long have you guys been together, and what made you go into business together? It's tough enough on a marriage just to be married, let alone be in business together.
Been together since 1995, so 25 years. One day we decided to buy a farm in the country. I was raised in Argentina. My grandparents had a ranch, so I always enjoy nature with animals. So the idea of buying a farm was very appealing. So we ended up buying the farm, and soon after we started thinking about what we should do with the farm. And they come up with the goat cheese making. And we started officially in 2001. I was a chef in downtown DC, worked as a chef for almost a decade, and decided to quit my job, move to the farm, start taking care of goats.
Wow. All right. So when you think about though the special knowledge that you need to know about cheese, not all of us know how to pick out the right kinds of cheese. What are the simple tips that you normally tell customers?
Well, it really starts with what do you like to eat, and what is your preference for sort of the strength? Because cheese is sort of a little biome, a microbiome, and as it ages, it matures. And, I like to say cheese is the art of calculated decay, which is a beautiful metaphor for life. And the older it gets, the stronger and stinkier it gets. Mm-hmm. So, you have folks who like less strong, long-aged, lower moisture, like Parm or some of the Alpine-style Swiss cheeses. And then you have folks on the other extreme that like washed rind, stinky, funky cheeses. And there's soft ripened, sort of the brie style, there's blue, there's a really broad landscape of cheese. So you kind of start asking, what cheese do you go to? What do you like to eat?
They ask us, which one is your favorite? And that's a really tough question to answer. I mean, these are our children.
Yeah. I was going to say, they're all your babies, right?
And
all right, so I'm going to bring in my Patrick. So he's going to help us with the master class that you're going to give us.
Hey guys,
Pablo and Mike.
Hey Pablo, hey Mike. I get to join for the fun part, right?
You're a lucky man. I've been doing one at a time.
Okay.
Start with this little baby, the soft, ripened, bloomy brie.
This one right here.
Yeah. So this is a cow's milk cheese. We do a total of 12 cheeses now. 2 of them are cow's milk and 10 are goat's milk. We're sort of legacy goat's milk creators. And this is one of our newest little babies. We did a large format of this that was about 2.5 pounds. And now in the new world, grab and go, UPC, single format cheeses are really desirable. So this little 6-ounce Bloomy Breeze Mini was born. And what you see on the outside is a surface ripening mold called Penicillium candidum, which is often on brie or camembert, and it ripens over the course of 4 to 12 weeks. So it's yummy and buttery and approachable and really easy to eat.
Yeah, and it's called soft ripening means because the cheese gets softer as it ages, and obviously it gets stronger. So if you like flavor, if you want for something more flavorful, grab the one it's looking like it's melting.
Yeah,
Gooey
and gooey.
If it's firm, means it's young and it won't have as much flavor.
Okay. Now, is there a specific cracker you recommend to go with it, or can you just eat it by itself?
You can definitely eat it by itself, but it goes great with savory or sweet. Like you can serve it with like a fig jam. Hold on.
Sorry.
Or olives, prosciutto, salami, those strong flavors. The cheese itself is buttery and, it's creamy.
Mm.
And you balance the strong flavor from the salami or the olives, let's say, or, same thing with the jams. They're so sweet. Kind of balance.
Really good. No, it's very good. Very buttery.
Yeah, it's super buttery. So the farmer that we buy the milk from has a herd that's half Jersey, and their butter fat is really high. The beautiful thing about these little cheeses is you can see them ripening from the surface in. And as it ripens all the way, that gooiness will go all the way through the cheese, and it'll be at its strongest point.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Pablo?
So,
Spruce Reserve.
Spruce Reserve, okay. So the Spruce Reserve is our traditional merry-go-round that we've been doing it since the beginning. There we go, right here. Once again, as the cheese age gets creamier and stronger, and so we started wrapping the wheels in the spruce. It's a strip of wood that when we get it, they're really stiff. So we have to suck it in hot, salty water so it softens so you can wrap the wheels. And they age together. We put it in the aging room together, and you can see molds start to grow over the bark. The bark. That's fine. That's normal. Some people are freaked out because, oh my God, it's all moldy. That's what you want.
Okay.
And then I guess you're supposed to take the bark off before you cut the cheese.
Oh no, you don't. You don't.
You leave it. It's like
it.
a pair of Spanx.
Exactly, because the cheese is so soft, the wood holds it together. Otherwise, once you cut it,
right,
it will ooze out and make a mess.
Yeah.
So the way you serve this, you cut around the tip, with the tip of the knife around the edge, and then you peel it off.
Lifter lid.
I don't have the best utensil for this. I'm going to grab my sharp knife real quick.
So you basically unlid it. It's like a big lid.
It's like a big lid. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
And the inside should be soft and creamy. You can see
it's gooey.
You can spread. You can dip.
So you probably have to give a little lesson to a lot of people, because my first thought was I got to get rid of that piece of wood.
Bark.
So,
yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
Oh, she's a
so
party
you just serve it directly from there. I mean, you just have a cheese knife and
You can
dip
put
it
it in
out.
a cheese board with crackers and fruit or other things. You just serve it the whole thing in there.
Wow.
So are most of your cheeses that you guys do, they're more on the soft side, right? I'm a texture guy. I like some hard cheeses, but the soft cheeses are definitely my favorite. It looks like that's pretty much what we have here.
Yeah, well, it's where we started. And the reason for that is soft cheeses tend to be younger. So they're a little higher moisture and they ripen quicker. So you're not holding on to a cheese for a year. Now that we've been doing this for nearly 20 years, we make a cheese that's called Bella Vita that ages for a full year. But that's, kind of a different cash flow situation since you're basically putting a lot of money in your aging room. They're delicious.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The other thing you can do with this is bake it. Put it in the oven as it is. When it's ripe like this, you put it in a dish in a sheet pan, bake it in the oven, and serve it warm. It's like what you do.
That'd be awesome.
Really
Another taste.
Yeah,
I like this.
yeah, so that one got a perfect score at the American Cheese Society judging. So it made us very proud. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, a lot of people would probably end up taking off that wood and cutting it like, we regularly did with this. That's great. I mean,
yeah. Well, to Patrick's point, we created a little 5x7 marketing card that we give when people buy it that of describes how to eat it and, how to cut the top off. And yeah, it's something they've been doing in Europe for a long time, but in the States it's new.
Thomas was doing an interview yesterday with a friend of ours, and she was talking about how she's treating herself a little bit because she's not spending all that money going out to restaurants, and so she's having stuff ordered in, and nice cheeses would be a great idea for people who are stuck at home. They're not spending all that money going out to nice restaurants. So this is a great idea for people to send.
Yeah, little luxury.
Yeah, a little luxury is nice.
So third cheese, we're going to go to this little orange rinded beauty. This is Cabra La Mancha, and this was inspired by a trip to Spain. They do these beautiful washed rind goat's milk cheeses in the north of Spain, and the orange is another ripening agent that you would see on Munster or Taleggio or in extreme forms Limburger. And so, if you smell it, and we can't do that over the internet now, but it's got that sort of stinky funkiness, which is either really loved or not so much loved. And as it ripens, it'll get gooier and stronger.
Right. The stinkiness comes from the rind. I tell people, if you get too stinky and you don't like the smell of it, you can cut off the rind, and the cheese is wonderful. And because of the consistency, also melts really well. So it's a great cheese to cook. Make paninis and add it in omelets or quiche, and it melts fantastic.
Yeah. I was raised by Swiss Germans, and so eating Limburger was something we just grew up with. That taste is something that we're
and this might sound stupid, but the rind, I don't need to cut the rind off to put it on my cracker, right?
You don't have to. No. Yeah, we eat all the rinds, but it is a personal decision.
Right.
Yeah, it's yummy. And that cheese, we send it to market at 10 weeks. So it's one step up from the soft ripen ones that we did early. And it'll continue to ripen until about 6 months. But at 6 months, it's like a goat cheese Limburger. It's pretty strong.
It's delicious. I like that one a lot.
Me too.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Finish her off. Black and blue.
Black and blue. Wow. Okay. So black and blue is our goat's milk blue cheese. This is a cheese that we aged for at least 4 months. Blue cheese is similar to cheddar, except that you don't press the curd into a mold and age it for a long time. You don't press that curd. The curd being dry, it creates those cavities inside the cheese. And then we punch holes in the surface, which allows the mold to grow. It gives oxygen to the mold and makes it to grow. The more moldy, the more flavor. People say, "Oh my God, it's mold. Can you eat that?" Of course, absolutely.
Yeah. And since this is a master class,
yes.
Cheddar. When Pablo said it's like a cheddar, the word cheddar comes from a process that cheesemakers do with the curd called cheddaring. And you basically cut the curd and then pile the curd up on one side of the vat and then move it to the other side of the vat. And it creates a drier.
As you move the curd.
That's really good.
Curd release water and makes it more dry.
Yeah. There's only, it's probably about a dozen now, 100% goat's milk blues in the world. And we have one of the most awarded right here in Maryland.
Well, each cheese we've gone through, it's like, that's my favorite, then that's my favorite, then that's my favorite. Now this is my favorite.
Now, it's hard. It's hard. People say, "What's your favorite?" I'm like, all of them. Yeah.
All right, so last but not least, which is this one here in the center that we have?
I can't see. Hold it up.
Oh, that's the
big bloomy brie.
Oh, yes.
They sent you both. Oh, you're special.
That's the mother beanie.
Yeah. That's the mother of the mini. And that cheese in that format won a super gold at the World Cheese Awards in Bergamo, Italy last fall. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's very good. Very soft.
So the minis were born from that and are UPC'd and grab and go and sold on internet grocer channels.
Yes.
You know what I've learned today? Lots of stuff, but one thing, it's like this cheese, this one scared me a little just because of the smell.
Yeah.
So I think that people should know, don't be afraid of the smell because you don't taste that smell. I mean, the cheese, this is actually my favorite one, which I'm kind of surprised by. So they're all delicious though.
I gotta say this.
Thank you.
The black and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Well, I think we're gonna have to try them at least 6 more times a piece, and then I'm sure our favorites will change.
And cook with them. Absolutely.
Oh,
cook
yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
No, it's so good.
Fun with that.
And so, what did you guys do before you got into the cheese business? Were you like, was this like to get out of corporate world, or?
In my case, I was a chef. I went to school. I always enjoyed cooking, so I wanted to learn how to cook. And if you cheese making is, you're still following recipes, but you add in a little more chemistry in there. You know, you're dealing with bacteria and yeast and mold, and but it's still food.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, it was bucolic exit strategy. I was in corporate America for 25 years and in housing finance. And in the last financial crisis, when housing finance just exploded, Pablo and I, sort of were like Thelma and Louise. We're like, just go, baby, go, And, happily, I had started investing in him and his culinary abilities and the farm. So when the crisis happened, we were well on our way. We were already 10 years into FireFly. So, yeah, I'm glad not to be in a cubicle.
Yeah. I think it's a new world,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
nice to see that businesses like your own are taking the risk, the bold risk, to venture out and that you're getting a warm reception. So we're glad to see that. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, congratulations. I hope things go really well with your store in Baltimore, and hopefully people will see this. And I think another important thing is like everybody's put on like the COVID-14 and the COVID-24 from eating. This is keto friendly. People are gonna start doing those keto diets. So there's no carbs in any of this. The crackers, but so.
But you can moderate. Yeah, no,
Exactly.
I can't even tell you how much cheese we eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Power food.
I love
And,
it.
Charm City, I know, Thomas, you're from around here. They've been lovely. People have been so warm and welcoming.
Well, good.
We opened the door 3 weeks ago, and every week it's better and better. I mean, it seems like people are alert, and they, people tell people, and we get more and more. I mean, every day you see it.
It's a great gift idea. It's like it's inspired me to think about this. You guys do. I mean, that's part of. I think I saw it on your website. You send.
Yeah. So the manufacturing business, you can go and order cheese. We ship nationwide, fireflyfarms.com. And the retail business, fireflyfarmsmarket.com. Both locations here in Baltimore and at Deep Creek Lake offer order online for curbside pickup.
Love it.
Mike, that was so good. It's like you're a salesman or something.
I know. Not my first time at the rodeo, Thomas.
Thank you so much. We
Nice
really
to meet
appreciate
you.
this.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.